Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible. It contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the scattered bits and pieces of testimony from the prophets of Israel, and it became the Book of Zion, a instruction manual for how to contact and bring God back to earth. God being aliens, not gods, as we think about them in religious terms. What I'm doing is bringing God to earth. But today's episode, I'm going to talk about something that I touched on in my last episode of the Pot Smoker's Bible, and that is something I call scream therapy. The reason why I'm doing this additional thing about scream therapy is because it's so necessary to the healing of our souls. We live in a society that glorifies heinous crimes. We have TV shows that are all about heinous crimes, and it proliferates the acts in reality, making our society progressively more evil. I know people like tell me, that's not true. Come on, seriously, open your eyes, people. How much suffering do we have on this planet? And it is that suffering that scream therapy addresses. So I want to talk about mental illness. And, oh God, it's one of the biggest problems we have, especially during the COVID. It just intensifies it all. Scream therapy is designed to address and heal mental illness. And I experienced the a form of it through the Gray. They literally took me through this process. It took years to get through all of the trauma because it took years to inflict all the trauma. But since then, I have expanded that concept into a therapy. And it's designed to address all aspects of mental illness. The reason why I feel qualified to do this is because I suffered from mental illness for years, and this is how I got out of it, through scream therapy. The concept is that the body records events and stores memories with embedded emotional energy. So each trauma that you've been subjected to has this energy signature in your brain that causes you pain and suffering. It's because your memory has that emotional trauma embedded in it. And the only way to release that trauma is to confront that memory. But this is not done optimally by yourself. Scream therapy is a group therapy where one person alone deals with their entire aspect of problem, and they do it in a group setting. Now, in this group, there is a psychiatrist, there is an empath, there is a strongman for any violence that might occur during the course of therapy, and there's a medium, which helps us to deal with those who've passed on, because sometimes our perpetrator has passed, and a medium can call that person up to have to deal with their trauma, because that's how karma works. So in scream therapy, the professionals is this team of there's also a medical professional in there in case there's a need for to minister drugs like psychedelics and stuff, which help us to release the embedded trauma. So we use drugs, we use professionals, we use every aspect of our psyche is addressed by our team of professionals. But that's only half of our team. The other half of our team is made up in two parts. They're the people that we love, care, and depend on. The people that can get us through the pain. Usually that's our parents, or siblings, or close friends, past, present, from beyond the grave or in life. So this is our core support group. Their only function is to be the sounding board for you. Because there's a difference between telling a stranger with a doctor's title about your pain and suffering and telling the people that you love the most about your pain and suffering. Because these people, when they're going to give you the sympathy and this emotional strength and healing that you need that comes from love. So they're there to give you the love and strength to face the other group, which is the ones that hurt you. You cannot heal your trauma unless you face the trauma and the person or event responsible. If you can't address that, you cannot heal. They inflicted the damage and you have to stand up to them. Look them in the eye, either spiritually or physically, and get the pain out, get the anger out, ask the questions. Why did you do that to me? That right there is your healing, to address to no longer be the victim, but to be the accuser. To stand up and say, why the hell did you do that to me? What right did you have? You have to pay for that. And you have to pay for that by facing me with it. Because that helps them, believe it or not. Because they can't become better people if they're not forced to face the ramifications of their actions. And you can't heal until you demand why. What gave you that right? What made you do that? What was in your mind when you did that to me? Those are the things that heal you. And with your loving, supportive people there to give you the strength to face your perpetrators, your evil bastards that hurt you, that's where your healing is. That's the screaming part. It's not just screaming to yourself about how you were hurt. It's looking that person that hurt you in the eye and screaming your anger and your pain right in their face. That's where the healing comes from. So, in order to heal, you have to deal first with your trauma. That's where the professionals come in. Because, see, they're going to walk you through all the steps you need to take to face your perpetrator. So, scream therapy is a process. You start by talking to a psychiatrist. You tell the psychiatrist everything that you can about the situation. Then you talk to a medium. You talk to a doctor. You talk to, that one, the strong man that's going to be there to let you get out your anger and frustration and pain, because sometimes that's all you need. So you're going to go through these therapies with all these different, you're going to go to an empath. And that empath is going to feel your pain and see the events that created that pain so that they can dig down deep in, so they can see down deep in where your real trauma lies. And they are the ones that pick the villains. The empath will see, okay, this person, this person, this person, and this person hurt you and caused you this pain. Those are your villains. And they're going to go and talk to your therapist and say, well, they're going to compare notes. And then you're going to go back to the therapist. And you're going to have to address the things that you hid. Because we hide things from therapists, so we don't have to deal with them. So we go through this professional healing process to address all the sides of our psyche prior to this confrontation, which is the ultimate end result of scream therapy. So you're going to go through your screaming with your psychiatrist and your medium and your empath, and you're going to be emotional in those meetings. And then from all of these meetings that you go through in your therapies, they will build your team of people that you trust, your support team, and the villains that you need to address. And they're going to get you through the basic trauma by therapy, individual therapy with the different departments. And then when you are emotionally capable of confrontation, then you have the big scream. And the big scream is when all these people come together. The professional team, the supportive team, and the villain. And that is the ultimate moment of healing. When you confront your abuser, go from being a victim to be an accuser, and then you force them to deal with the ramifications of the events that hurt you. That heals your soul. So, we're going to put together these teams, and we're going to address all sides of the issues. And we're going to build ourselves up to being capable of addressing our abusers. And we will heal as much of our psyche as we can. We will release all of that pent up, terrible pain, anger, emotional wondering, because the questions are just as much a part of healing as the trauma. So instead of having a stranger with a doctor on the beginning of their name ask you random questions for an hour a week about random things that don't connect in any real sense and get you really nowhere but cash in their pocket, we're going to address all sides of our psyche, and we're going to figure out how to use natural, true scientific means to address all of the issues that create mental illness. Because I don't believe that there is any mental illness that cannot be addressed with the proper team of professionals and loving, caring individuals to build the person up to a point where they can face what has happened to them and eventually face those who hurt them, to overcome the pain and suffering. And as you go through this process, you will find yourself freeing up all that emotional inner trauma, and you'll be happier for it. So, scream out your pain, people. It works. Believe me, I know. And soon, we'll find a way to heal us all. So may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. That'll help to make you happy. Scream your therapy out. That'll make you happy too. So, stay happy and high. Know I love you. Later. I'll never say goodbye.